The new LEGO Star Wars magazine just released and it doesn't include a minifigure. But can the additional extra that is included in this magazine compensate for the lack of a minifigure? We will find that out and see what comes in the next magazine after we've taken a quick look into this magazine. Starting on the first page, we got the overview. After that, we get right into the comic, which I'm going to skip as always. Then we get some quick ads for the LEGO City magazine. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video about that one. And then I will skip the rest of the comic. After some more ads, we get some puzzles. Then we get a Clone Wars game that can be played with 2 players. After that we get some puzzles and the building instructions for the extra. And on the next page we get the rest of the instructions and the comic for the extra, which I'm going to skip as well. We will talk about the extra later. Then we get some more puzzles and the fan post. And now let's get to the interesting part. The next magazine will include a Clone Trooper pilot, something you definitely don't want to miss, so don't forget to subscribe and I will make a video about the magazine once it releases. Before we get to the real extras, let's quickly talk about the posters. The first one shows Anakin, Obi-Wan and Yoda, and on the other side we can see the Star Wars logo with a bunch of the minifigures that released in the last couple of years. The main extra of this magazine is a mini model of the Slave One or Jango Fett Starship. I'll build that real quick and then we can take a look at it. Mini models are something that we don't like to see in the LEGO Star Wars magazine. We definitely prefer minifigures. But there's nothing we can do about that, so we have to take a look at this one. Overall, the design is pretty solid. The worst part of this model is definitely the backside. It is just really blank. Feature-wise, this model has not much to offer. The only thing that you can do is move around the landing gear, but normally with bigger models this should move on its own. There's no ramp that can be lowered, so people could enter the ship, and the only cannons that this ship has are on the front. There is not even a hidden seismic charge at the back, which is probably the most iconic thing about this ship. There are really no interesting parts in here, so the total part value comes down to around €3 or something. But Jango Fett Starship is not the only mini build that we get with this magazine. We also get a bonus one that is a random one from previous magazines that we got. I don't know if the second one can also be a minifigure, but mine is a build of an A-Wing. Since this is not the main build of the magazine, the building instructions are not included in the magazine. If you don't got the building instructions to one of these packages, you can go on blueocean/BI and type in the item number that you can find at the back of your package or on Bricklink. So now I can build the A-Wing and then we can take a look at it. And here we got the A-Wing. This is an older model because it still used a plastic bag. And honestly, this is probably a lot worse than the Starship. The main issue I got with this build are the engines. In bigger sets or other micro builds, they got the angle that they are supposed to have. But here, they just go straight up. Another thing I don't like about this model are the proportions. I feel like the windshield is way too big, and also the slopes are not very smooth. If you don't give us a minifigure, just give us a mini build that at least looks good. If we compare Jango Fett Starship to the other extras we got this year, it got very similar problems to the U-Wing from the last magazine. It is not a minifigure, and the parts are also not very valuable, so it's just a bad extra. So is this magazine still worth it? Normally when a magazine contains 2 extras, the value is absolutely through the roof, like with the Ninjago magazines. But surprisingly, this one, even with 2 extras, you're probably going to break even at best. So if you're not interested in the magazine itself, this is not worth it. If you want the mini builds, you can just go buy the parts yourself and look up the building instructions on their site. The current LEGO Ninjago magazine also contains 2 extras, but is the value there as terrible as it is here? You can find that out by watching the video that is on screen right now. And until then, have a great day.